everything changed about the show. I tell people I've written 5 musicals called In the Heights. One of them made it to Broadway. I've cut more than 60 songs from this show. I've cut several characters. We've added characters. The people who have been there from the beginning, and by people I mean fictional characters that feel like people, because we've lived with them for 10 years now, or I have anyway. Nina and Usnavi and Benny and Nina's struggle with her family and her parents. Usnavi and Vanessa, all those characters have been there throughout every step of the journey. But In the Heights is a rare show in that it's not based on an existing story. So we were finding the characters and the story at the same time. Most musicals, even the great musicals, are adapted from a pre-existing source, whether you look at West Side Story, which is based on Romeo and Juliet, or even Oklahoma was based on a novel. Or a novella. So to write an original story, it takes a long time and it takes a lot of drafts. So I would say there are about exactly 5 notes that survive. In Washington Heights, everything else is different. I don't know. There are songs that got cut that I thought, well, this may not make it in the show, but I'm playing it at my wedding. There are songs that got cut that said, this is going to be an R&B ballad someday. Sometimes, I steal from myself a lot. I'll have a song that, doesn't fit in the show anymore, but I'll take this chord progression or I'll take this melody and see if I can repurpose them into something new. And so, some of those songs have been sold off for parts and exist in different, strands in the existing show. But I don't know. It's been great to, a lot of composers nowadays, they get their BFA in musical theater and they study. My BFA was the many drafts of In the Heights, and now I have a trunk as a result. I have... It's very hard for me to separate my favorite moment as an audience member and as a writer versus my favorite moments as an actor. It's a lot like picking your kid. Of course I have one, but I don't want to make the other kids feel bad. There are moments that are really that were really tough for me to get through as an actor. There's a breeze off the Hudson in the finale, just because the music accumulates so much at that point, and I found it not impossible, but I found it very difficult to do that moment honestly without thinking about not only what the character's gone through to get to that point, but the 10 years I've gone through to get on that stage. And so it's very overwhelming. And what's great about this show is no matter how you're feeling, there's an outlet for it on stage. If you're angry, there's moments where you can work that out on stage. I lost my grandfather the week after we opened on Broadway, and that was incredibly unexpected and tragic. The gift of it was I had 8 shows a week where I could mourn him and remember him and honor him, and that was more effective than any therapy I will ever receive in my life. I had permission to grieve for a year and move past it and move on, and so the show has given me moments and gifts like that, 1,000 times over.
There's a breeze off the Hudson, and just when you think you're sick of living here, the memory floods in.